So today I'm super, super happy because literally I've been working on something on the back end, just for us affiliates to kind of make sure that we're acquainted, we understand what we're doing, we know the task at hand, we're solid in our vision, solid in the mission, solid in everything that we need to be a great leader. Okay, so the first things that we're going to go through today is going to be clarify your vision, your first 7 days, high level habits, mastering objections, daily prospecting and outreach blueprint, daily IPAs, which are income producing activity tracking, revenue rituals, success audits, reflect, refine, repeat, building influence via social media, scaling through systems, and your 90-day run. So drop some threes in the chat because Legacy Lab, listen, listen. I think I did it with this one. Like I really feel like I did it with this one. So I want you guys to be taking notes, apply what you learned today. And we're gonna literally like exactly that legacy lab. Like we should out of like 2025, we should all come out legacies, every single one of us. So this is why I named it what I named it. And let's get into this. So the first thing that we're gonna go through is your vision. So when it comes to your vision, we know that your why is important. The reason why you're doing what you're doing is super important. It should keep you going, right? And at no time should anything be able to distract you from that. Not a bad day, not a bad opportunity, not a bad trade, not an individual, nothing. Right? Like this is what drives you. So when you're creating this why, this reason why you want to trade, why you want to make online residual income, why you want to do the network marketing aspect of the business, you have to be clear and concise on your why, right? It has to be something that's like, wow, like every time I think about it, it's like nothing could distract me. I want it that bad. Like I want it that bad that a bad trade can't make me feel any type of way. A bad, interaction can't distract me, nothing. Okay. Next thing is you want to make kind of like an exercise out of it. Like if you take the next 12 months of your business seriously, who is it going to impact? Who is it going to help? Who's going to benefit from you taking your business seriously, whether it's the trading or affiliate marketing, like what we're talking about right now? If you take the next 12 months absolutely seriously, who's it going to impact the most? Who's going to benefit? Your family, your children, your significant other? Like who's going to really benefit from these things and whose life is going to be forever changed? And what are you becoming? Like what the person do you want to be? What do you want to focus on? You can't wait until you get all these things to be like, okay, now I'm ready to be the person I always wanted to be. It's going to take practice. It's going to take habits. It's going to take a clear vision. It's going to take all of these different aspects to really be that person. You can't just turn it on. This is not Head of State. I don't know if you guys seen Head of State with Chris Rock. He walked in with a little limp and he walked out wearing a suit and he was walking straight. His back was straight, everything. And he was a different person right away. That's not how this works. So as you're making the money, you still have to work on yourself and work on your personal development as well. You're so funny, Mona. Okay, so ooh, let me let somebody in. Perfect. So that's for your why. So literally your first 7 days in the business, this is what it should look like. So day one is focused on setup and orientation. So 7steps.vip. I don't know if you guys took a look at it, but it is fire. Like drop some fire emojis in the chat because Dre did his absolute big one once again. Like I don't know one individual could have so many big ones, but this one like is fire. He needs his flowers, his fire emojis. He needs everything because that site is fire, like absolute fire. And it's crazy because it helps so much, even with the onboarding calls, with everything, it helps. Like it adds onto it, So as a leader, like something like that, a system that people can use, clients can use, customers can use on their own is so, so helpful. A system in place is beyond helpful. Okay. So 7steps.vip, make sure you get yourself acquainted with it. The more you are acquainted with it, the more you can help your teams. Okay, so if you're like going through the motions, if you're going through the steps, if you're picking a roadmap, if you're doing this, that, and the third, when someone comes to you and say, "Hey, I'm not sure where to navigate. I'm on this page." I could literally, if somebody tells me they're on a certain page of anything that I've been doing over the last 5 years, I don't even need to see it. I could tell you step by step exactly what you need to do, whether it's putting money on a broker, whatever. I could tell you exactly what you need to do without even looking at your screen. Why? Because I pay attention and I understand what you're doing because I've done it myself. So one part about being a leader is leading by example and doing the exact things that you're asking your teams to do. It's never going to go the right way if you're asking them to do things in a boss setting as opposed to being a leader. A leader does what they say. A boss just tells you what to do for their own benefit. And none of us are bosses here. All right. I want to make that super clear. When it comes to the accounts that people can trade, there's different accounts. There's the demo account where people can practice for 72 hours. I don't think people should really prioritize having a demo account long term, where actually we have great setups, great ideas that are being given to us on a weekly basis. So I really feel like 72 hours max just to get the flow of how to take the ideas and stuff. And once they're like comfortable, listen, live trading account, it doesn't have to be a lot. Like literally it could be whatever they afford. I always tell people $100 minimum. And then on the other side of things, they have access to prop firms as well. We ourselves are not affiliate with any prop firm companies. However, there are some out there that are reputable, that have been out for years that they can utilize as well. And if necessary, like, you know, we can kind of help navigate. I think 7steps.vip as well kind of navigates that for us. You can always just literally relay people back to 7steps.vip. I really want you guys to understand that we are not in any way affiliated with any prop firm, like at all. Okay. Zero relation. All right. Make sure your teams are in the Discord chat. The more people we have saying good morning, the more people showing love, the more people, you know, kind of interacting with each other, that's going to build up momentum in the chats and make people more comfortable to speak to one another as well. So I love it because I feel like every person that's on this call right now, I've seen you guys in the chats. I've seen you guys bigging up people, welcoming people like all day. So I love it. Like I love that we're already leading by example and doing exactly the things that are necessary. Who here is in the brand promoter Telegram group chat for ZiNRAi? I dropped some twos in the chat. That is also going to be so essential to being a brand promoter and being an affiliate in this space. Why? Because you get updates on the actual company. So it's not just like, hey, you know, this is the system, this is how it works. You actually understand the back end of like what's being given out, how they cultivate things, etc. So it's kind of just a really good insight on everything as a whole. Let me just go through the chat here. Andre makes me laugh. Okay. Yeah, so the brand promoter Telegram, when you first log into ZiNRAi, on the left side you have a dashboard, like you have a little menu. You want to click like literally it says BP updates. You're going to click that. It's going to bring you to the Telegram chat and you're going to join it. Okay, so super simple. There's members updates and then there's BP updates. BP updates is for affiliates. It's just brand promoter instead of affiliate. Okay, so that's how to get into that. We're going to move on to the next page here. Yeah. So next up, we have actionable items. So we know that every Monday that we're on an onboarding call, right? We have an onboarding call at 9 p.m. I want to make it super clear that onboarding calls are not just for the newest person. Onboarding calls is also so you as a leader, you understand how to navigate the system. You know what we have to offer. If you're ever talking to someone and you're like, you know, oh my God, I'm so excited about what we have going on, and you freeze up because you don't know what we have, that's not a good approach, right? So understanding what we have and what we have access to be able to explain it to the newest person is very important. So those 9 p.m. calls are going to be very essential to staying up to date. And especially because ZiNRAi is not that old. Like ZiNRAi is literally what, going on 3 months, I believe. So it's like, there's going to be constant updates. Beyond the constant updates, there's going to be constant things like changing promotions, all those different things. Not promo in terms of price, promotions in terms of like incentives and things going on for our team specifically. So it's like you really want to make sure you're on top of everything and you know what's happening. All right. So your next onboarding call of whenever that time is that you're looking at your document and going over is definitely important. When we talk about day 2 and 3, we're talking about product familiarity. So you're going to be going on the website and navigating what we have, right? So we have ZiNRAi Live, ZiNRAi Ideas, ZiNRAi Elevate, ZiNRAi Courses. ZiNRAi Live is for the live sessions. You want to make sure that you yourself are on the live sessions. You know, you can't be telling your teams like, hey, y'all, get on live sessions, make sure you have part of the education, da da da, if you don't have your own live session schedule either. You get what I mean? So you always want to be leading by example. When it comes to the ideas, make sure you're taking those trades. Make sure that you're taking the trades yourself, whether it's on a live account, a prop firm account, futures account, whatever you're taking it on, make sure that you are also making money, you're taking ideas, you're also being a product of the product. I think that's the most important part. And like Mona said, we also have the overviews Mondays at 8 and Wednesdays at 8. We're going to get into the presentations in a bit, but just to touch on what she said, like it's very important to be present for those calls because it's not just like, oh, well, I didn't invite anybody, I don't have to be there. The mindset is, I want to be able to record my own overview. I want to be able to present to someone at a bar, in a restaurant, on a street. You should always be able to talk about your business. You should always be able to be like, I remember, I think it was Dre in the chat like a few months ago when he went on vacation. He was like, yo, somebody sent me the slides. I'm about to present at the bar. I'm like, that's a leader. Like, that's really what we're doing. That's literally what we're out here doing. So it's really just a mindset and how you choose to kind of lead. And I'm always grateful to have like that leadership where it's like it's not a boss mentality. Like here, there are no bosses. We are all leaders. Everybody on this call, coming on this call, you knew it was for affiliates, you knew it was for brand promoters, and you still got on. You are a leader. You're a leader within this space, and the way you guys move is very important. All right. So ZiNRAi Live is your live sessions. Make sure you make that schedule. ZiNRAi Ideas, make sure you're taking the trades. You have Telegram, and you also have a shortcut on your screen for the ZiNRAi Ideas to make sure you like literally get in those alerts as fast as possible. Okay. I don't usually save my password for things, but just because of what's it called? Literally just because of the fact that it's like alerts and I want to get them as fast as possible to put in that information, I actually save my password so that when I do go into it, it's fill password. I get my information, I relay it on Trade Locker, Meta, whatever I use that day. Okay. When it comes to ZiNRAi Elevate, listen, we have access to an amazing back office. I remember when I wanted to do personal development, I'd always bug Angela, okay, what am I supposed to be reading? What am I supposed to be doing? Da, 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 da. Like I'm always in his ear, but it's like you can just log into your back office. There's a book of the month, there's an audio of the day. You have access to podcasts, blogs, masterminds. You have access to 90-day trackers, whether you want to work on your discipline, your confidence, your leadership, right? So there's actual like value in your back office. So it's not just like, hey, okay, I'm part of this platform. This is the website. We're actually using the website. We're actually using the platform. All right. So you want to make sure that you're using those services as well so you can speak on them. And honestly, those audios that they send, that they have on a daily basis are like a minute and a half, 2 minutes max. Like you can very easily just listen to that while you're eating your breakfast, while you're getting ready, whatever, just to have that message of the day. Okay. ZiNRAi courses, you want to make sure you're doing the courses. If someone comes to you and has a question like, hey, I ran through the courses for Jordan Morgan's Forex and I have a question based off of the first video, and you're like, deer in headlights, something's wrong. Right? Like we all have to be on the same page. We have to be watching the videos, being a product of the product. And the amazing part about this is, in terms of resources, we all have access to great things. Like we have access to not only great resources, but people, like the individuals, the educators that have over a decade of experience, right? So it's like we have to make this make sense. On top of it, we lead with integrity. We have morals, we have ethics. We're here partnered up with a company that's mirroring our values. So right now, there's legit no excuse why nobody's successful and nobody's not like anyone's not making money. Like if I hear that personally in my head, immediately what's gonna go off is your teachability and coachability index is a fat zero, like fat. So it's like you have to like the fact that you're plugged in on this call is fire. That's like step one. The fact that you're taking notes, that's step two. But step 3, 4, and 5, which is like take those actions, put your notes into practice, are also just as important. Okay. So you guys are already on the right track. Let's just stay on there. Okay. The next thing is having results. So when we talk about, the copy and paste ideas, again, to be able to share results, to be able to talk about the products, you have to be using them. You have to be using the ideas. You have to be taking the ideas, whether it's on a prop firm, a live, a demo, whatever. You need to have results. All right. Day 4 to 5 is building a prospect list. You're going to write down potential prospects. This could be family members, friends, acquaintances, strangers on Instagram, on any social media platform. You're going to reach out to at least 10 of them every single day and just share your ZiNRAi journey. Like I'm going to give you guys a script that you guys can use and just you can personalize it to how you speak to people, how you choose to communicate, how you make friends, whatever the case is. Just make sure it's genuine to you and you'll do fine. Like you'll do amazing. This is why you can't fail. It's because you're given everything. All right. So we're going to build that list. We're going to make sure we write people's names down. I usually have a huge Bristol board. I thought I brought it with me, but I usually have a huge Bristol board and I just take a Sharpie and write people's names down. And then I have little symbols. Like a circle means I prospected them. So I said like, hey, what's up? Saw your page. I love the fact that you have your personality all over like your page. I've been looking like for people like yourself. I was wondering if you can benefit from online residual income. If that's the case, I would love to partner up with you. Get back to me. Simple, super simple, literally just your energy, who you are, like speak from the heart. Truthfully, I'm not going to go on someone's page and talk about something I don't like. I know myself. I won't get far. I know myself. Okay, so genuinely pick something that you like, something that you're like, wow, like that's really something, or even something that you would look for yourself in one of your leaders. Like that's also a really great way to kind of generate that relationship, friendship, or whatever the case is. And honestly, even just asking people about their goals. There's so many people, their friends, their family members don't ask them, what are your aspirations? What are your goals in life? It's just constant judgment, right? So you can even start off with that, like, like I would love to partner up with you. And as soon as they answer, be like, oh, I'm just curious, like, what are your next, like, 30, 60, 90-day goals? They're gonna be like, first of all, scammers don't ask you what your goals are. Let's be real. Did someone ever call you asking for like, oh, what's your 30-day goals? I was just wondering. I was gonna rob your bank account, but I just want your goals instead. Nobody did that. Nobody does that. Right? They just want your name, they want your SIN number, they want all of the types of information. As soon as you start asking people about their goals, listen, that already separates you. That already separates you. So you have to get into the habit of talking to new people, talking to strangers, and make them people that you know. I didn't know Mona before this opportunity. I didn't know Keith before this opportunity. I didn't know Tasia before this opportunity. We were strangers until we weren't. Right? And the same thing is going to go for them as well. I didn't know Andre at first. I didn't. So it's like you constantly have to be talking to people and generate those genuine conversations to actually understand and get people in your business that you want to work with, that you want to talk to. I love working with Donna. I love working with Keith. I love working with Tammy, Dwayne, Stevie. I have a whole clan, like literally. I love working with them, but they were strangers before we got close, before we started talking, before we started working together, before we started making money together. Okay, so those lists are important, and the symbols, you have to know where you're at with people. If one day you prospect someone and you forget and you go back and prospect them again, it's going to come off like, okay, like clearly, this person's not really on it like that. Like, so make sure you're putting down those little symbols, whether it's a circle, a line, you prospected them, you invited them to a call, they were on the call, you have to follow up with them. Like, make sure you're keeping up with where they're at and where you're at in the process of bringing them into your business. All right, drop some sevens in the chat if everything makes sense so far. Perfect. So next now is day 6 and 7. So day 6 and 7 is launching your business, and launching your business is very important. It's almost as important, sorry, as important as your wedding. It's just as important as anything, right? Like your baby shower, anything. So you have to treat it as that. So you really have to make sure that everything that you're doing is like, yo, you're inviting like crazy. Like, listen, I don't know what you have going on whatever day you choose to do your launch. Let's say I'm doing my launch this Saturday. Okay, I'm choosing to do my launch event. I'm like, hey, I need to make a list. I need to message all these people. And honestly, you could do power hours every single day. I don't know if guys know what a power hour is, but it's literally where you sit down. It could be a group of you guys or just you by yourself. You have your list of people to message, whether it's their usernames for social media, whether it's phone numbers, whatever the case is. You play a little bit of low music in the background and you literally just get to it. You do your voicemails. Hey, what's up? I saw your page. I love what I see. Like you have it going on. I love your personality, etc. Do you think that we could hop on a call real quick? I really want to talk to you about online residual income with no changes to your lifestyle. Next, next, next. These are like quick voice notes that you're sending out. And then all you have to do after you reach out to a certain amount of people, it could be 10, it could be 20, it could be 30, you're waiting on responses. So it doesn't have to even be for the whole hour that you're sending out voice notes, but for that power hour, you're going to be so productive. Talk to as many people as you possibly can. This is what's going to generate shifts and momentum in your specific business. So while other people are like, oh my God, how is she getting all these people? Oh my God, how are they able to speak to like recruit all these people? Like, this is crazy. It's because they're talking to people they don't know. And you have to convey that energy. You have to convey that individual that you are and we know you can be, so that they feel attracted, like, wow, the way this person is talking to me, I definitely want to work with them, partner up with them, anything. Like, let's hop on a call, let's hop on Zoom and let's talk. I've spoken to people with like 80,000 followers and they like, people are like, yo, they're not going to respond to you. I gotten responses. I've gotten responses, and it's not because, like, what I'm saying, I have a whole bunch of followers. I have 1,500 followers. They have no reason to respond to me, but it's my energy, it's how I present myself and what I show. And what I show is real. Like, it's me, it's who I am, it's my daily life, it's the way I speak, it's the way I look at things. And someone that can relate to me, maybe that one individual, maybe I speak to someone that doesn't relate to me, but guess what? They look at Keith and they're like, you know what? I can relate to Keith. I'm gonna get started with Keith. I'm happy. I'm like, what? I find Keith cool too. Sure, no problem. Like, get started with Keith. But I say that to say people can't join you if they don't see you. So if someone wants to get started trading and they relate to you more than they relate to me, but they only hear me, they're just not going to get started. Even though they might be interested, sometimes it just takes the right individual, right? So you have to be seen, you have to show your face. Like shout out to Tasia. Tasia be online doing dances, doing routines, doing everything. Like straight up. I have two left ankles. I wish I could do that. I can't do that. I really can't. But she be killing it. She gets all the attention. She's on trend on everything, like for real. So it's like people see her when they join her business, they know who they're joining, like someone with personality, someone that's super cool, someone that's going to show up, someone that's consistent, someone that's disciplined. They see everything right there. So everything they need to know is right in front of their faces. It's a business card, literally. Okay. So launching your business is very important. You have to invite like it's the most important event of your life. So whether it's followers, whether it's people you see, whether it's family members, friends, whoever it is, you constantly need to be talking about this launch event. And then once that launch event comes, you're going to end up with your face on a flyer with either myself, Mona, Sean, Itiel, or Andre. And we're going to share the information with you to these individuals that you get started on this call. So it's not only just important to share the information and tell, like, just create that excitement, be the trailer to the movie of this overview. It's important to have that energy and convey like, hey, like this is, yes, we're making money, but it's fun. Trading is not supposed to be something where it's super serious and you guys are like, oh my God, like, I'm stressed, I'm frustrated. No, trading is supposed to be fun. You're in an active community. You're making money. You're educating yourself on something that you want to educate yourself on. This is supposed to be exciting. This is supposed to be a good time. You're making friends. You're talking with new individuals from all over the world, right? So create that. Continue to do that. Continue to just spark those conversations and be active on your social media. Okay. And you want to set a date and just reach out and be like, hey, I'm thinking to launch my business in about like 20 days. Do you think you're free on this day? Set a time, a flyer is made, and you just start inviting like crazy. Okay. So after that, now we want to do our habits, high level habits and personal growth strategies. So success in business is driven by personal growth. Implement these tips daily to build both your mindset and your business. So the power of habits, we all know it takes a certain amount of days to create a habit, but it's like, what if you chose to condense that time? What if you chose to really take, let me take these 7 days and really hone in and really target this habit in particular that I'm going to get down packed, and it's going to be one of the habits that I focus on right now. So when we talk the power of habit, the compound effect, like literally compounding the same actions every single day. You ever drive home and you don't even know how you got home? You know why? Because you do it every day. You do the same route, you take the same exit, you sit in the same traffic, and you blink. I'm in my parking lot. I don't even know how I got here. I don't even know how I got here. I don't know what turn I took. I don't know what, but I made it home. Why? It's because you compounded. You compounded that habit of making it home, taking that specific highway, getting off at that specific exit. You would probably be more alert if your exit was closed. Why? Because now you have to figure out another way. And it actually takes brain power now. This is not habit. You're not used to taking that route. So actually like developing those habits, those high level habits is what's going to separate you. Choose habits over motivation. Choose having those high level habits over motivation. You shouldn't need somebody to motivate you every single day to achieve things like your why, like financial freedom, like generational wealth. Nobody should need to motivate you for that. Why? Because I feel like in itself, it should have the power to change your habits, to create those things, that longevity that you need. And then the last thing is act like the person you're becoming. Like I said, we're not going to wait until we have the money. We're not going to wait till we have the houses, the cars, the land, everything to start walking and talking like how we want. We're going to start now. What does that person, what time does that person wake up at? How does that person dress? How do they wear their hair? How do they respond to people? How do they respond in traffic? What events do they go to? What do they eat? Do they work out every day? Do they read? What does that person do? The you who has the cars, the homes, the everything, what does that person, that individual do on a daily basis? Start doing those things now. Okay? The categories for your habits are mindset, business, wellness, and leadership. Those are the categories that you can break down your habits in. When we talk about mindset, we're talking about journaling, meditation, affirmations, and reading. These are all conducive things that aid your mindset. When we talk about business, we're talking about income producing activity tracking, goal review, learning new skills. It's either you're practicing something, you're doing something every single day, or reviewing it as to how you can do better. When it comes to wellness, are you hydrated? Are you working out? How's your sleep routine? It may seem like, oh my God, these are some things that I don't really pay attention to, but eventually it will catch up with you. Eventually, these are things that, like, over time are going to affect you. Right? So it's important to kind of take care of yourself. And if you notice, these are all things that are taking care of yourself. These are good habits. When we talk about leadership, are you showing gratitude? Are you doing outreach? Are you following up with people? Are you making sure your team is fed? Are you making sure your people are good? We have a reputation for that, for literally making sure people are good, people are well taken care of, people are supported. People feel good about like what we have going on. People feel good about the opportunity. I promise you, anybody that feels some type of way was not close to the campfire. They were not on the Zoom calls. They did not pass gold. They did not collect $200. I could tell you that right now. They weren't on my calls. I could promise you. They weren't on Andre's calls. They weren't on any of the overviews. They weren't on the team calls. Why? Because we give you energy. We feed you support. We give you anything that you need. Closed mouths do not get fed. They don't. They just don't. Okay. When it comes to your daily routine, you have a morning routine, a midday energy booster, like a reset, and then you have an evening wind down. So let's actually look at this because it's actually important. Okay. When we talk about a morning routine, this is where you would have the movement, the clarity, and the mindset. So when we talk about those things, it's like, okay, maybe I can read, maybe I can do something that's constructive. The reason why you do this in the morning is because that's kind of your peak. When you wake up, it's okay, what am I doing? That's when you have your energy, right? Even when it comes to prospecting, I'm not going to prospect in the evening. Why? Because that's wind down. I'm reviewing my day. I'm planning for tomorrow. The day's already done. The day's already gone. You're already in tomorrow. Literally, you're already in, okay, how's tomorrow going to go? Let me prep this, my lunch for tomorrow. Let me do this. Let me do that. It's too late to start talking to people because they're doing the same thing. So when we talk about prospecting, it's midday, it's morning times when people actually look at their phones, when people are actually scrolling and active, right? If you, for yourself, when you do your midday energy booster, like how do you get energy? You know, whether it's a nap, whether it's a little reflection, whether it's a walk, you're recalibrating like how you are. I could tell you, like sometimes I have super, super early mornings and super, super late nights back to back to back to back. Eventually it catches up with me. And if I don't do something to recalibrate myself, it's like a call is going to suffer. I'm not going to have something on time. I'm not going to have things done. I'm not going to be able to show up for you guys. And for me, that's just not good enough. So to the same standard, I think you guys have to take accountability for what you guys are doing on a daily basis and move accordingly. Okay. So write down your goals and be very intentional when it comes to your goals. When we talk about self-audit, like what habits are you implementing? What habits do you have going on a daily basis? What like habits align with the person that you're becoming? Are the habits that you're doing right now, are they the same habits you'd have if you were a millionaire, if you were a billionaire? If not, why not? Like, why? What's the reason? What is one habit that you'll commit to mastering for the next 7 days? What's one habit that you could say, you know what? This is one thing that I could focus on over the next 7 days. I'm going to master it. Yes, it takes 21 days to learn a habit, but if I concentrate, if I apply pressure, I could get this done in 7. And it's just practice if you really think about it. Okay, visualization, same thing. You're kind of like always, okay, what's my success? And even with ZiNRAi, what's my success with ZiNRAi? What can I really focus on in ZiNRAi? What's the roadmap with ZiNRAi so I can be successful, so I can get the financial freedom I'm looking for, the lifestyle I'm looking for? What do I have to do? The onboarding call gives you all of that. Team call gives you all of that. The platform gives you all of that. Everything is so clear, guys. Okay. So let's talk about some objections, and I'm going to zoom in here so that you guys can see a little bit more and probably take a screenshot as well. When you're talking to people, these are possible objections that you may get. Okay. So the first one, it sounds like a scam. I love this one. I haven't gotten this one in a very long time, to be honest. This is like the one where it's like, I gotta do a little bit of work, you know? So one thing that you can say is, I understand. One thing that you want to do that before I start is whenever you're met with a negative, you don't answer to respond, you answer to educate. Okay? You never answer upset, hostility, nothing like that. Okay? It's always an education that we respond. So it sounds like a scam. I understand. That's why we chose ZiNRAi, where real skill is taught and the focus is education, mentorship, and long-term results. That's a response that you can give. Okay, you're educating them. You chose ZiNRAi because you already did your research. You're showing them I already did the research. I already went on the back end. We did what we had to do. We know there's real skill here. That we know they focus on education, long-term results, and the mentorship. We know that. Just educate them. Some people don't know, and they like this is how they get like the average person away from them or to stop responding. Oh, it sounds like a scam. Okay. I don't have time. Most people start with an hour and grow from there. ZiNRAi was designed to fit into busy lives like yours. So you're making that person know, hey, like, everyone else is busy too. You're not the only person that's busy, but everyone else is making it work and you can make it work as well. Okay. I don't know anything about trading or investing. That's the best part. You're not expected to. ZiNRAi is built for beginners with step-by-step training, live sessions, mentorship, so you can learn as you go. So once again, every single response is educational. They're learning something every step of the way. I'm never matching their energy. I'm never saying, yo, are you crazy? This is ZiNRAi. We have Jordan Moore. We have Jason Brown. Like, are you serious? We have Mike Sotero. Like, come on now. We have Patrick. No, because that's what the average person is doing. When people tell them no, when people get upset, they match their energy. No, we are professionals. We're not the average individuals. So we answer to educate always. Okay. When it comes to, I don't have the money right now. Okay. I realized staying broke was costing me more. I'm going to say that again. I realized that staying broke was costing me more. This is a low risk investment into a skill that can change your financial future. So for the people that say, I don't have the money right now, this is a perfect response. Perfect response. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna post it in the what's it called? I'm gonna post it in the Discord chat. Cool, you guys took your screenshots, pictures, yes, wrote it down. Lovely. Next. So daily prospecting. So we're doing this every single day, and I want you guys to understand the different parts of the markets that we're actually affecting, okay? So when it comes to your prospecting methods, you have two markets. Your first market is your warm market, okay? Who is your warm market? Write it for me in the chat. Who is your warm market? Lovely, yes. So friends and family. For those that saw it on the screen, shout out to y'all if you didn't know the response. So warm market is your friends and family. It's people that you know. Okay. When it comes to cold market, these are people you don't know. Typically found like if you're at a restaurant or something and you choose to prospect someone, that's cold market because you don't know that individual. Could be people on Instagram, people on TikTok, in your DMs, etc. These are cold market individuals. Okay. When it comes to your daily blueprint, this is what your activity should look like. So you should be starting 10 new conversations. And I'm going to give you guys the script in a second. You guys can read it and take a picture of it. But ultimately, the conversations that you're having are new conversations. So if you ever tried to ask about someone or tell someone about the business before, that doesn't count as a new conversation. You want to make sure these are new individuals that you have to follow. You have to go in their stories to see what they have going on. You have to actually go through their posts to see what kind of person this is and then message them with a voice note. You're not writing. You're not saying, hey, what's up? You're sending a voice note. Okay. So 10 new conversations. You're doing 5 invites. You have to do 5 follow-ups. So think about it. If you're starting 10 new conversations every day, and these are quality conversations, you're giving them a compliment, you're letting them know why you're even reaching out to them, and you're waiting on a response. But understand that once you give all that value in the voice note, you should be getting responses. Everybody here is not ugly. I'm going to start with that. Okay. We are not an ugly community. We're very pretty people. Okay. And not only that, you guys have personality. We all have personality. We all have, that je ne sais quoi about us. So it's like at the same time, you should be able to convey that through a voice note. They should hear your voice. They should hear your tone, hear who you are and what you're looking for. And then by default, once they look at your social media, they're like, wait, I kind of want to work with this person. I see what this person has going on. Or even if they meet you in person, you know what? I like the way this person talks. I like the way this person carries themselves. I'm down to do business with this individual. Okay. So between your 10 conversations, you're inviting 5 people to that presentation, whether it's the Monday at 8 or Wednesday at 8. You would have 5 follow-ups to do. If you're inviting 5 people at minimum, you're making sure 5 people are on the call. So if I want to make sure I get 5 people on the call, guess what? I have to invite more than 5 people. I'm gonna have to invite more than 5 people. The numbers dictate if I want 5 people to show up on the call, I have to invite more than 5 people to every single overview that we have. Okay, so the minimum is 5 invites. You have to do 5 follow-ups to follow up with the same individuals, right? That were on the call to let them know, hey, like, how was it? And I'm going to show you exactly what to say to these individuals once they're ready. And then you have to make sure you're posting. So when we say post, you can do quality posts. I've heard people say, oh my God, I don't know what to post. I don't have this. I don't have that. Go on ChatGPT right now and say, these are my 2 niches. For example, myself, my 2 niches are luxury cars and travel. You go on ChatGPT. Hey, Chad, I call him Chad. I don't even call him ChatGPT. I call him Chad. I say, hey, Chad. He's like, what's up? Because he knows what his name is. And he'll literally be like, well, how can I help you today? I need 30 posts, 30 reels for Instagram. My niches are luxury cars and travel. I do mentorship and I'm a full-time entrepreneur and I'm one of the top leaders within a trading community. Can you generate me 30 reels, please? And guess what? You know what Chad's gonna do? Give me 30 reels clip by clip. Your first clip should be 3 seconds, you coming out of a car, you walking past your car, you on-screen text looking at the screen. He's going to give me my on-screen text, he's going to give me my caption, he's going to give me my hashtags, he's going to give me everything, my music choices, everything. And guess what? All I have to do is duplicate what I'm looking at. All I have to do is either take screenshots or write down what Chad tells me to do and just do it. So it's a no-brainer. I'm given the literal like posts, what I'm posting, what the content should be, how long the content should be, what my on-text screen should be, what my caption should be. And that's it. That's literally all I'm doing. So it's super simple. It's not overwhelming to do content. Why? Because it's broken down for you. Okay, so we want to make sure we're active in our stories. We always talk about income producing activities, but being productive is just as important, whether it's working out, whether it's reading, whether it's your prayer in the morning, whatever that looks like, show yourself. Let people know how a day in your life goes. Okay, so when it comes to these scripts, all right, you guys can screenshot it, write it down. All right, so warm market. So once again, warm market is for people that you know. Okay. Hey, I'm working on something big. I don't have too much time. I'm headed into a meeting here. I would love to have your opinion on it. So let me know if you're free Monday at 8 or Wednesday at 8. Why did I say Monday at 8 or Wednesday at 8? Lovely. That's when we have our team calls, right? So that's exactly why I chose those 2 times. And I'm also giving them 2 options so they can clear their schedule. If one day's not free, most likely they're gonna be like, hey, well, these are their 2 options. I might rearrange something. And then if they still can't, ask them straight up, okay, perfect. So what time would be good for you? And if they're still not able to, you guys have recordings. I've done a recording. I believe Sean has, Donna has, Dre has done a recording of the overview. So you guys can get those and just send those out if the in-person is not possible. But I promise you, the in-person energy is always better. The live energy is always better. Okay. Now, this is for someone that I don't know. Okay. So we're right here. So keep in mind, before you send this voice note, you have to follow the person. Okay. You need to make sure that you go on their page, their stories, you view what kind of person you're talking to, what kind of personality they have. If they're like a fun individual, if they're more serious, like what is really priority to them. And you can normally see this on their page. And then one thing that you like, a compliment or something. Okay. So perfect example. Hey, I'm interested in partnering up with individuals like yourself. I saw that on your page, you're very driven, you're very career oriented, and I feel like you can leverage multiple online income sources. So let me know if you're free Monday at 8 or Wednesday at 8. Same thing. I'm offering the same times, but I'm talking to that individual differently because they don't know me. They don't know who I am. So I have to say why I'm here, how I found them. So I literally went to your page, I found you, I saw whatever, and I saw this specific quality or these specific qualities that I liked, which drew me to message you, and then what times we can talk. Okay, so it's the same concept. All right. Things to avoid when you're sending people voice notes is being spammy. So being spammy is like sending like message after message after message. I haven't met a person in my life that loves that. So being spammy is, even following up. Like you never want to be that person that's like, if they didn't read your message or didn't answer you right away, it's like, hey, did you see my message? Hey, did you see my message? Hey, did you get my message? It's like, I'm not doing business with you. I'm not doing business with you. So you can, hey, did you get your message to somebody else? Because I'm not doing business with you. Okay. When it comes to the second thing, overselling before building relationships, what that means is pushing the business onto them, pushing trading and investing or whatever the case is onto them before you've built that rapport, before you had a conversation, before you guys laughed or anything, before you guys had any kind of back and forth. I understand you still have to get to the point, but a conversation still needs to be had. You still have to create some type of relationship, laugh with that person, ask them their name, where they're from. Be like, oh, I always wanted to go there, even if you didn't want to go there. It's traveling. Everybody wants to travel. Or you've been there before. Hey, I've been there before, but it was just an airport stop. It wasn't a full, like, destination. You could say anything as long as it makes sense and it's actual, like, it's genuine to you. Okay. You just have to say it a certain type of way, which is part of the business. Next is not tracking your progress. So as I said, let's say I'll pick somebody else. I keep saying the same names. Let's say Philip. Hi, Philip. I haven't seen him in so long. So let's say that, I spoke to Philip, I invited him on a call, and then let's say our conversation fizzled, right? He never ended up getting on the call. But now, let's say 2 weeks later, I'm like, okay, I'm making a whole new list. I'm ready. I write Philip's name again. And I go again. Hey, what's up, Philip? I have something big going on. And then you end the voice note, and then you probably look again and you're like, wait a second. I already sent Philip a voice note and he just didn't respond to me. So now, because you haven't been tracking, because you haven't been paying attention, you're unaware. You don't know where you're at. You don't know, like, what's going on, and you're prospecting the exact same individual again. So not only does that person not take you serious, they're not going to respond. Why? Because you're not keeping track. You're not up and up on your business. Right? So you have to keep up with the people. If you're going to write their names down, put a circle. Like, okay, I prospected this individual already. If they're on a call, add a line. A line means they got on a overview call. If they're ready for a follow-up, put a check mark for follow-up. And then after that, all you need is a decision, a yes or no, and move on. That's it. Okay. So when it comes to doing our follow-ups now, these are the two things that you're going to ask after they've seen the call. So you're going to say, hey, like, what stood out to you the most? And where do you see this fitting into your goals? These are not yes or no questions. These are open-ended questions. So they have to give me a response, a constructive response of the platform. They have to give me an opinion. They have to give me something other than yes or no. Okay. Our second question, do you have any questions before we get started? AKA, like, you're getting started. Surprise. Like, you're getting started, but you have to make sure that you kind of iron out anything. Like, hey, do you have any more questions before we get you started? Like, is everything, are you ready to go? Okay, make sure you have your card, notebook, and pen so you can write down any little details you need. Cool. Drop some eights in the chat if that makes sense. You guys can take a picture of the script and the follow-ups together. They're both on screen. Perfect. So our presentations, as we said, Monday at 8, Wednesday at 8, it is not only for the newest member, it's also for you to learn how to present the information. Okay, so if you can make one of those two, make sure you're on it. And one thing about it is the more you invite to these calls, the more it's going to benefit your business. And on top of it, you guys are not the ones sharing the information. We are. And you're just following up afterwards, right? So it's like we're doing the work and you guys are benefiting. So make sure you make that count. Okay. When we talk about daily income producing activity tracking, okay. So when it comes to either you're monitoring your performance in terms of personal development or in terms of leadership, you know where you stand. So if you know on a daily basis, you're supposed to be talking, reaching out to 10 new people, following up with five people from the day before or the day before that, you're presenting to a new person every single day, whether it's a personal like Zoom where you're showing them the platform or on a overview call. And then you're sharing at least something about the platform, something about the business into your social media. Okay. I think that's super clear. And don't forget, you guys have ZiNRAi Elevate. That's super simple. I'm literally going to do it tomorrow. I'm going to wake up, have my coffee, do my little voiceover and literally say like I'm gonna log into ZiNRAi. I'm gonna go on ZiNRAi Elevate and be like, okay, so today I'm about to get ready to do my daily audio. We have a portion of the book to read and we have our 90-day tracker to continue. Someone is gonna see it all in one space and be like, what are you using? Could we hop on a call and talk about it? It's that simple. But they can't ask, they can't kind of see if they don't see it, if you don't show it. So once again, you have to make sure that your social media is not, you know, it's not like on and popping. I'm not saying like everything that you see, it's like, okay, like I need to make sure that, I'm showing X, Y, Z. There's a lot of things that I don't show. Like I could promise you, you guys don't know me for real. Like I do a lot of things in life. Okay. And unless I show them, you wouldn't know. I used to do nails. I used to do hair. I used to travel to do these things. I do interior designing. I fix cars. I take cars apart and put them back together. There's a lot of things that I do, and you won't necessarily see it on my page because it doesn't necessarily pertain to what we have going on, but it's a behind the scenes for me. So whenever I get like a 2 seconds, I'll post it just so people are like, oh, I didn't know she did that. But it sparks conversation. Like today, people are like, oh my God, people are always telling me about my nails. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to put a little collab together real quick of my nails so that the people that are tired of me posting business are like, oh my God, she's always business. They see another part of me. And that relates me to the newest person. With me, I can't relate to the average person necessarily because I don't work a job. The average person has a job. Whenever I speak about job, I have to reference like, when back in 2019 when I was working, like, I was tired, I was exhausted, I this, that, I really wanted to learn a trade, like trading, something that couldn't be taken away from me because it was COVID. I have to go back to that because that's what got me started in trading and that's where my journey started. If I talk about now, I'm a full-time entrepreneur. I do mentorship full-time. I travel. I help the next person become successful, and I do calls. I do Zoom calls to help my community. That's not relatable to the average person. You guys are more relatable than I am. So that's why I'm saying the followers like that don't really matter. It's who you are and who can relate to you. If a nurse is like, oh my God, like I'm looking at Kiki's page, okay, but like, that's not my lifestyle. If they see Mona, if they see Sarah, you're gonna like, wait a minute. They're nurses, they trade, they have time for the live sessions, they have time for this. Maybe I can do it too. That makes them relatable. That makes it relatable. Exactly. You just show who you are. Like the amount of messages I got just from literally taking apart a car and taking a picture of it in my nails was crazy. People are like, yo, you don't do no work. There's someone in the back end doing it. So I have to prop up a camera so everybody can see me taking the car apart. It's crazy. But it is what it is. They're going to go off of what they see. That's just how it is in life. Okay. So when we talk about auditing your business, so success audits, you want to reflect, refine, and repeat. Okay. So review your daily progress and make the necessary adjustments. So what are my goals and focuses for today? What's one habit I need to adjust or double down on? What worked well today? What didn't work or could be improved? What specific actions will I take tomorrow to improve as well? So it's constant action review, action review, action review. And eventually it's just going to be action, 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 action. It's going to just be constant. Why? Because you know what to do. But you don't know what to do if you don't try and go out there and actually talk to people and understand what works best for you. If you don't know your course, my course might be different from Itiel's course. Itiel's course might be different from Mansa's. Mansa's might be different from Dave, and we all get results. We all hit ranks. We all get people into the business. But it may not be the exact same way. So that's why I'm giving you guys the basics so you guys can actually start talking to people with what's required and then shape shift it in a way that works for you. Okay? When we talk about building influence on your social media to attract and scale, right? The reason why you're building a personal brand that pulls in leads, creates trust, and helps you grow beyond your warm market consistently is so that you have the constant growth. Think about it. If you only focus on your warm market, how far would your business get? How far would your business get if you only focus on your warm market and you don't focus on any people that you don't know, any strangers, anything? It wouldn't get far. As much as they may love you and all that stuff, you're not going to get too far. That's just the reality of it. So we really have to kind of reach out. And it's crazy. Like even for myself, like when I first started trading, like nobody really wanted to join me like that. And it's crazy because I was popular, like everybody knew me. Nobody wanted to start trading with me. It's only when strangers posted flyers of me, celebrating me for hitting ranks, for achieving certain monetary goals. That's when they're like, wait, like who are these people that are just like posting flyers of you? Like, what are you doing? That's what made them question and be like, oh, wow, like maybe I should join. And that's when everybody started joining. you know? So you do have to partake in your cold market. You do have to add to that. How do you build influence on a daily basis? So you show credibility, you give free value, you be relatable, you build trust with consistency, and you use storytelling. Okay, so if this is through like you show your credibility through testimonials, you share wins, you show lifestyle, your trainings that you're on, like this one right now. When it comes to free value, you can inspire, you can entertain your niches. Everyone should have different niches or has the same, whatever the case is, but you should always have two. And then you strive to educate, give that little piece of free value. Okay, be relatable. So show the process, not just the results. So show how you got to where you're at, even if it's in your career, in your everyday life. Show how you got to where you're at. People love, like, you know, like just to see the, okay, like that's what you did to get there. Okay, cool. Build trust with consistency. So post regularly, be authentic, and follow through with what you say you're going to do. When it comes to storytelling, share behind the scenes. People love that. People love to see behind the scenes, like what you have going on, how it's working, etc. Okay, and then you can utilize specific, like, you know, carousels and stuff on Instagram to kind of show those stories, or, you know, tell the story that you want to share. And turn your posts into conversation. So when I say that, I'm referencing polls, story replies, comments. Like sometimes when I feel like I've been seeing the same people on Instagram, I literally just go through my followers, I look at their stories, I comment, I like things at random on their posts, I comment, I send hearts, I do a whole bunch of stuff just so like get that traction back on my page. And then I go into, like, let's say the discover page, and I just search something random like Boss Babe. I look up 50 Cent's page because he always has, like, obviously hustlers, the people that want to make money on his posts. And he always has like 8,000 comments, 500 comments. That's 500 prospects, guys. He has 15,000 likes. That's 15,000 people that love 50 Cent, that love to make money, that love the hustle, that love his mindset. That's 15,000 prospects. That's how I see it. Right? So you can't tell me you've spoken to everybody. You can't say, oh, you know, I've maxed out you've maxed out nothing. There's way too much people on this earth for you to be able to max out anything. Let's be real. Okay. You want to promote the calls, use the products that we have access to, and then repurpose your reels across all platforms. It's already kind of a task to make sure you're up to date with one platform. Don't be shy to literally reuse the same content used on a different platform. Those people haven't seen you on Instagram. Okay. And be strategic, you know, pin posts, show your highlights, all that type of stuff. Okay. When it comes to this is our last page. Okay. When it comes to scaling through systems with leadership and duplication, once you have some success, it's time to focus on helping your downline succeed. So develop them into leaders who can replicate the system. So understand that they're not replicating what you did specifically, they're replicating the system, which means that you have your freedom. You're not tending to these individuals every single day. They're utilizing a system, the system I just showed you, right? When we talk about the 7 skills of network marketing, you guys need to get GoPro. Okay? Everybody type GoPro in the chat. If you've heard about GoPro, you smelled GoPro before, you need to buy it and read it. Highlight things, read it over and over again until you know them by heart. But these are the 7 skills that you need to know and master to really take this to the next level. Spotify has it as well. Philip is right. Okay, like you need to have access to the right things to get the right results. Okay, so these are the 7 skills. We've talked about them multiple times, and you're definitely going to go read GoPro, so we're not going to run through them, but these are them. Okay. Next up, we have leadership development. So when you see in your business, like, hey, my business is growing, I see this person, you know, getting like 3 to 4 people started. That's someone you want to focus on. That's somebody that's building momentum, that's actually like taking this seriously, that sees the opportunity and is like really, you know, going at it. So how can you support these individuals in their growth? Understand that the system in place, the 7steps.vip, the onboarding, the overview calls, this is all a part of the system, guys. All of this is part of the system. So they're relaying back into the system so that you can continue to live your life. It's not because you chose network marketing and to be a leader that you have no life. Thank you, Itziel. Itziel dropped it in the chat from YouTube, guys. So you guys can click that or save it for later. Okay. So truly, it's like they're just going to do exactly the same training. You ever notice when you have a leader on the rise, they come on the calls, but guess what? Who's talking on the calls? It's Andre, it's Itziel, it's Mona, it's myself, it's Sean. It's not you guys. It's the same thing for the overviews. When you put people on the overview calls, you guys are not the ones sharing the information. We are. It's the system that's showing the information. So take advantage of these things because you end up doing the work once. And if you get the right people, if you get those aces, guess what? You're not going to have to do the work again. You're not. Okay. So take note of the 7 skills. Make sure you're looking out for your business. You're seeing who can be a potential runner and you're feeding into them. Okay. Your 90-day run now. So a sprint of discipline and energy designed to create breakthroughs and momentum. So this is literally where you're going to set goals for yourself. They could be crazy goals to you. They could be like, oh my God, if I get this is going to be crazy. That's the type of goals that you want when you're doing a 90-day run. You want you want momentum, you want quantum leaps, you want crazy movement. This is what's literally going to take everything from zero to hero. This is how you skip ranks. This is how you like literally get your first commission check, all of that. That's how you get leaders to partner up with you. It's by them seeing you, them understanding who you are and what you have to offer.